Everyone needs forgiveness, the kindness of the Savior, the hope of nations. Savior.
This is Chariot.
Hello, Makwaba, Eba, Chariot TV, you media. Maybe then maybe a brewo, and then straight talk. In Saturday, and maybe say, na a babu person, more straight talk, Anna, ye bay. Then no one of my Jim Akoya, Midian Jonathan, Mensa, Bonsu. And then no, the yes young one, the book of Daniel and visions, the book of Daniel and visions. Daniel Homano, and a D. Daniel Homano, any a D in some, and no, and a yɛbɛgya akonya na yɛakasa afa ho nti waba so abɔmmɔden na share, like and subscribe. Share, like and subscribe. Nneɛma mmiɛnsa no, share, like and subscribe. Woba so pɛ na share, like live show. We are live on Facebook, we are live on YouTube, and we are live on X as well. Nti sɛ woba so abɔmmɔden sɛ make no share, like and subscribe. Wotumi copy link no na wɔde post to WhatsApp platforms so sɛ ne bɛyɛ a afoforɔ bɛtumi join in. No mo so etimi enyantie o de yesua ne ho ana utimi nto so copy link no na o share Facebook group pages also o share o Facebook pages also abetimi so share na ho so abesua. You see the book of Daniel enya book a ye tai ekenkan ne ye ta sua nti se be enya kwan se ya ne ye frɛ nyano bebre se onma besua na intimi ente ye ntwensem no wase na se na meka wo no Chariot TV are live on Facebook, we are live on YouTube, we are live on X, and the next Saturday, and it is a straight talk show. And then the meaning di Juma Shadrach Okon ana anime meaning di Juma Sabe. But Shadrach, no Kwaba.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
na pomo e.
Era there do me ho papa. Now also want to say.
Menso mo ye. Say ma say quick one on before I be a be call any my e kan so no. Ma say na ahwefo ta share any my e pa na I think say it's worth say you be fa akonya so. Na ya bo maba so say recently no ya hunu say ya share na akosoro pa na mji say boa Christo Jumedie ekoso say bia a quick one on that na answer na ebeko Jumedie so.
Yeah, I'm say ya bona say nuano momoden na omo share Jumedie no isan say Joe sharing no what it does and say enipadomo a omo bia they may not come across your video no say o share a call on what they call the feed or must say the news feed it's no bone say o share then they are able to kind of intersect or mohono na mo to me ahwe gumede into no yeah it's very important say and no bit to me I share now more to appeting WhatsApp platforms ahodo. What they just do it. The person no one the own panel. Na actually a woman a breman coin or between about you know, I'm say the better and animal senior basso for doing that.
Yeah, and then you know what near Bomabaso on that. Cinemacan, we are live on Facebook, we are live on X, and we are live on YouTube as well. So don't subscribe to Chariot TV. Just go to YouTube, search Chariot TV on YouTube. You see us. Then subscribe or hit the notification bell. You're quite live. I'll be telling you. Yes.
Yo, let me touch on the YouTube side. No, there are a lot of phobia or more on my more. They like to watch found these things, but some of them don't like. I mean, through Facebook, and I say they don't even have Facebook accounts. But on the YouTube there, you don't need an account to be able to view something there.
Yeah.
Wow, 18 say ultimate subscriber my YouTube no ekoswa. We are able to have a lot of people watching. Internet we will plead with and animal almost share and say try and do that. Let's know say animal more YouTube no almost so more to money ho so the way also subscribe na YouTube no yenya nipa dodo YouTube we video YouTube na be share our amount for ahead and remember say we have deliberately decided say we will not monetize our platform. So the way you bet to me a year radio jumano na ye focus on what we are doing. It's share my it will help. That's what he did with them.
Yeah, Obwashema, to help. We are live on Facebook, we are live on YouTube, we are live on X at the moment. They are discussing the book of Daniel and visions and who are some and may Yaja Kunya, Yabisu, send a baby to my boy. There are a few people about live. My main car and reforce says, oh, YouTube now comment here, as well, or comment or X and so on. X are you are there. Set Chariot TV on X and you click on it. You see a feed going. And say you stream live and you are streaming live on X as well. Who comment on X you don't know sounds now commenting on YouTube so you don't know and all these platforms, you know, it's just to motivate people. Yeah, far when you also say bear I hope me at Jesus Christ Asempano. It's more money click on the like button, share for us. Say the bear who wants to beat me and yan in tear. It's when you share and share. Patrick K. So say good evening, brethren, watching you live. Anna Boatin John, it's a good evening. I'm watching you live from Italy. James Esiedu or good evening, great work. And Isaac Major and Soswaba. Isaac Major here or here live from London. Or here live. That was happening. So into about so our morning. Now click on the like button, share for us. Send a bear. I hope to be to me and yan in now met me and joining in now Abwa and so what's happening. So Bashada.
Yes, sir.
See the book, the Rebecca wants some news about Daniel. Daniel in the first place.
Rebel, my question.
But see, the Rebecca wants some the book of Daniel and visions. Now it's centered on Daniel. So my question is, who is Daniel?
Oh, okay. Me that's it. Mamefa akwenye na menda inuano mo a omo hwe dwumede no ase na fe mimie kwan na menchiam na menka se ye de so adwumade a mo ne yen edi se ebrano no ye call life a mutumi join yen na yesua de me intention say ye kwe anim no ye betimi adọ addition we mu suko papa na afa yetumi aboa ama nema etumi ayeyi ewo ye bible addition mu Joe ye kase Daniel edin Daniel ankasa no ewo nkyerase on say Israel for no wo mo abakosem mu no omo ntu din akeke edin biara omo tu bia no ewo nkyerase enti no ofa edin aye Daniel na sekere and say God is judge and I said God is my judge. It's Onyankopon enemy temuafo. That is the name, the meaning of the name Daniel. Now Daniel no ankasa no oye a very young guy. Said the Ghana hano ye ebe kano no because at the time Daniel called Babylon no. Now, Daniel was ranging between the age of 12 to 18. And it's likely that, said Daniel was 15 years when he was taken into captivity. Now, Daniel Nankasa, David Asini.
That's but to see ya Ufraimfi.
Daniel Ufraimfi. Netiane say, on say from Josiah no. From Josiah, a pen so, bano. Mrantia, ya womu, ewa himfino, no Dawson. Na Yankopon can't chira womu se omu anye sutie amanoa. Womu ma, and omana nanum nyina beko den. Beko enkwasumo. Eti as at the time yebefa omukọ nkwasumo no Daniel nwoma no ankasa ka kire say ono Daniel no kire nipa oye. I mean, if you don't mind, we can go into the book and check. And Daniel chapter 1 no. Daniel chapter 1. Daniel nankasa ka kire nipa na oye. It is a Obefa Daniel Ukunumwa, Keith Mosier, and Ochrawa there, or Bodin and our country also, Daniel, our Old Testament, in case you need more. 80. Daniel chapter 1, Pacho, the verse 6, Erbano.
So Daniel chapter 1, verse number 6, say.
Let's start every verse 1. Then we will maybe jump on and go to the verse 6.
I say, in the 3rd year of the reign of Joachim, king of Judah, Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, came to Jerusalem and besieged it. And the Lord gave Joachim, king of Judah, unto his hand, with some of the articles of the house of God, which he carried into the land of Shinar to the house of his God, and he brought the articles into the treasure of his God. Verse 3.
Exactly. Verse 4.
Then the king instructed Ashpenaz, the master of the eunuchs, to bring some of the children of Israel and some of the king's descendants and some of the nobles, young men in whom there was no blemish, but good looking, gifted in wisdom, possessing knowledge and quick to understand, and had ability to serve in the king's palace, and whom they might teach them the language and the literature of the Chaldeans, and appoint
80 ahai Nebuchadnezzar akọ Joachim Joachim oye ohene ewo Judah kai say yadisua mu no anytime bia ye me ebia ma no be flip no maka Israel, I'm referring to Judah.
Okay,
so remember a little background to that, but before I ever call, come on, mouth a gist of it. On say Israel for no, on hina odi kan ewo Israel mu no e hwan ya.
On hina odi kan Israel so.
And I saw reigning for 40 years. In the 40 years reign, and I saw we now David Bedi there.
Okay.
David Bedi there and also Bedi 40 years. Right? David Bedi there for 40 years, and Neba Solomon Ebedi there. Also Bedi there for 40 years. 80 or 40, 120 years. And Solomon ba a friend of Rehoboam ebedi ade ne pen so Rehoboam pen so and the kingdom was divided. In fact, it was a prophecy said Sanibisi. It's a kingdom no a divided you know. What we call the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. Northern kingdom no near from Israel, and a southern kingdom no Judah.
In fact, from the time of the first king Saul, to Solomon, we had Israel, they had a united kingdom.
Yes, almost kingdom there Bakupe,
Israel.
Yes, Israel. And almost a year, the answer so mu Rehoboam pencil, wabra Solomon, the taxes will be good or minus or no. Nane babe dia de no mo pa ne chew say enka onti taxes no so. Ena when TSF futu no. Ena o catch ro mo say ono ne nsatian we no. E so chen ne papa sisi. It is any papa the taxes will be good mo so a. Ene wo mo ensure mo sapo muso na de be eso.
De be wo mo.
And I'm going to say, okay. And a massa, pa woman, yeah, and then a walk, with David Fee. It is David lady him. We are going. 80 when you go pon Emma, and he near Muche. Almost called the northern side, no. On 10 tribes. and a southern no ebenya 2 tribes.
Uh-huh.
It is southern for no and they're from Judah and a northern no ede Israel. Now as at the time ye can almost Joachim Epensono. Na ahinie no emuache long time ago. What must I say?
Okay.
But Joe when him say ohine way Joachim Epensono. Na ahinie bebre ahemfo bebre abeba. Right?
Okay.
But ohine Hezekiah Penso Bible tell and say na my Israel northern kingdom no mu ni hobio.
Okay.
I don't think I know money hobio. Because na Assyria for na di we are in aso. They can Assyria or mo na ye friend saying Nineveh or you can Nineveh ya or mo any Assyria for no mo di kan ba down abefa or mo northern kingdom ni na akọ meka down so say technicians no hwe na ko metima apoa ya munya a map of the Bible and so bio Bible na chi a ubohu ensuo mienu pia etene ohwe map no so a ye free bibi the Persian Sea. A free Persian Sea no eba soro no ensuo mienu bi ho ba ko the Tigris and about the Euphrates. It's the Tigris and the Euphrates, no, or Tigris and the Sro, and there was Syria, and Euphrates in the down, and there was Babylon. It's here Assyria for woman and the DVS in your answer. Woman and move back down, ever far, the northern kingdom of Israel, Edomokoi. Now, according to 2 Kings, you know. I hope say me information in you too much.
No,
according to 2 Kings chapter 18, no, Joe, omo by say omo befa the southern one, no, so omo di kan befa the northern kingdom no do omo echo. So they were coming for the southern kingdom. 18 chapter 17 and omo befa the northern kingdom. No, they echo Assyria. Chapter 18, and on some the southern one. No, now the Bible say, Sennacherib, that time no, none papa who am or no, and I'll be there.
Sennacherib no, or him bear, or my bear, Assyria, him Sennacherib. Okay, good.
Yes, he said they're making Assyria. I'm just trying to tell you what is happening. Say Assyria for no omo ba down abefa the northern kingdom no do omo ko. Okay, na aka southern kingdom no. And omo fa ba bio so befa southern kingdom no. Omo ba so befa southern kingdom no. Bible kire say enkrofo yi ebe ye dede ebe kasa kire Hezekiah satan Hezekiah na ohene. Eti omni Hezekiah ever kasa say on surrender. Hezekiah catch on call. Onye. In fact, enkofono ebe super omo etu kan eye 2 Kings pacho se wo bra yen hwe kakra bi 2 Kings chapter 19 no. Chapter 19 Bible say Hezekiah received a letter say Sennacherib we are Syria for him no oba down into on surrender and or the letter no e call your friend saying or they call him fie temple sorry dynamo and okosu frɛ onyankopɔn sɛ onyankopɔn hwɛ letter wo mo atro e de aba enti yankenkan kakra in 2 Kings no chapter 19 verse 1 no tie de okaye verse 2 no na yento aso
o say So it was when King Hezekiah heard it that he torn his clothes and covered himself with sackcloth and went to the house of the Lord. And he sent Eliakim, who was over the household, Shibna the scribe, and the elders and the priests to cover with sackcloth to Isaiah the prophet.
What is happening is when they receive information, say Assyria for no banner, they were shaking. In fact, Wamu su diare. Now the Esren say, ye all started from verse 8 now, they all kind of verse 8 now. On Hene Sennacherib, Esuma na Kobi say Uncle Jerusalem call warning say they don't need to fight him, they should just surrender. Because of course, one condemn or sort of phoning in an hour on condemn.
Yeah.
Okay, Adam. You also a friend Rap shaky. Ebe shaky or one casangasa. Not it okay. Verse 8,
Verse 8 does it then the Rabshakeh returned and found the king of Assyria warring against Libnah. And when he heard that he had departed to Lachish, and the king heard concerning Tikshak, the king of Ethiopia, look, he has come out to make war with you. So he sent again a messenger to Hezekiah, saying, thus you shall speak to Hezekiah, the king of Judah, saying, do not let your God, in whom you trust, deceive you, saying, Jerusalem shall be given into the hand of the Lord, the hand of the king of Assyria. Look, you have heard what the kings of Assyria have done to all the lands by utterly destroying them, and shall you be delivered? As a question.
Okay,
have you
Rabshakeh Abba Hezekiah ho, and all the catcher and say, Masa, me, your friend says, Sennacherib. Wakondamu enkura wahanyina. Now, why the country will say, "Who Yankopon Jehovah no, obetimi agye wo every Sennacherib nsem."
Yeah.
Masa surrender. In fact, oto aso kan a obeka nkyerɛ say, "Ye ni brenti." Obeka nkyerɛ say, "Omuko Sennacherib Rabshakeh enkyɛn kɔpa ne kyerɛ say, "Ke kasa kyerɛ talk to us in Hebrew. We can hear you. You don't need to tell the people and scare them." Rabshakeh tell ya na bufu and of original war so. And I'll tell you, just say, "Oh, shake you omo." Now, no, I'll say verse 14. Verse 14, you see.
And Hezekiah received the letter from the hand of the messengers and read it. And Hezekiah went up to the house of the Lord and spread before the Lord. Then Hezekiah prayed before the Lord and said, "O Lord, God of Israel, the one whom dwells between the cherubim, you are the God, you alone of all the kings of the earth. You have made the heaven and the earth. Incline your ears, O Lord, and hear. Open your eyes, O Lord, and see, and hear the words of Sennacherib, which he has sent to reproach the living God. Truly, Lord, the kings of Assyria have laid waste the nations and their lands, and have cast their gods into fire, for they were not gods, but the work of man's hand, wood and stone. Therefore,
it's one way the campaign now.
Yeah.
Or J letter no. And or the ra. Sorry for and I'll come by letter we okay so spread it. Remember I said that time no letters no na scroll.
Yeah.
It will come by mu say and I'll catch on Yankopon say read. Letter Abba. What was it ready? And your letter even though my name is the one on it, this letter is for you. It read some. It already read the letter. No, Chiron say, and no correct of the truth. And I like the way Hezekiah put you know of the truth. The king of Assyria was destroying Crawford Papa. Was saying Crawford crew. But and what casting and chrono what costing you know or me a good. But I already him say they are just wood. What must say entina erade esraw GM free and Hezekiah can say so that the whole world will know that you are the only true God. Bible, verse 20, baby, how can I say? Bible can say, verse 20, no. When you go Soma, Isaiah, Satan, Isaiah, prophet. I know you go Soma and catch them, so I'm going to catch the car, say, and I'm so a bomb pie actually into when you go point it. What he, Joe, when you go Esoma or for Bacope, Sana Bible canon. One angel, Emma Okokun, 185,000 of the Assyrian soldiers.
Yeah.
80 Babylon, your friends, Assyria for Omube Israel, no one condemn a year Judah minor. So that time, Omabefa, a straw for no coal. It is the only nation left. Your friend is saying, the Judah, the southern kingdom, no. And when you go upon Sebu, when you go upon Sebu or Mochino, or Hina or Hezekiah Tanasono, Nechi or Hina by your friend of Manasseh.
Towards mommy. But I think this the background where you are coming from is of interest and a delight. Sometimes so I am for woman in your home, sometimes if a pina peck and kind because of the meaning and but the line of Neoma is only very interesting and very faithful. A burden in Peggy, for instance, or in a crater, I will say, well, now go for when you crater, when you letter. Or spread it. So, I mean, you have eyes to read. I mean, what's making kind? After all, you making kind, and I would mean so at least. Read the
letter, I trouble.
Wow, bro. And from the little reading I read about Sennacherib, seems to see that guy was very boastful.
Oh, yes.
But archaeological findings just said they discovered a prism.
Yeah.
A prism of Sennacherib.
Yeah, a form were two form now. What throw and never good was it.
Say, watch it. What KG Israel for no. What KG Israel for no Sunday.
And Joe, I think say in actual sense, no, say we are from he deserved to boast. What do I say? He deserved to boast because what condemn all the kingdoms that was so. Yes, and never from other condemn Israel. I'll say he was even attacking Leska and Ethiopia. That he has taken over the whole world into almost in the way.
And Ethiopia was not a small nation to conquer.
That is why I'll call a honorable or catch it. Hezekiah say Hezekiah. Jai Sampire now to our boss say we yank upon this. He cannot save you from my hand. And I'm just imagining how a Rabshakeh will stand there to speak. Yo, so Rabshakeh in some kakra. Verse 9.
Verse 9 of 2 Kings chapter 19. Or say, and the king heard concerning Tishhaska, the king of Ethiopia. Look, he has come out to make war with you. So he sent messengers to Ezekiel saying, "There's 10. That is Nekaseni. That you shall speak. Do not let your God deceive you."
Do not let your God in whom you trust deceive you, saying, Jerusalem shall not be given to the hand of the king of Assyria. Look, you have heard what the kings of Assyria have done to all the land. Imagining this guy speaking. And Oshe Omo archaeological findings now Omo drawings are.
Yeah.
Next, how Omo John what you say?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Okay, Omo shada ewevu about you say no.
Yeah.
Omo wevu etu jemo na ebubububu. On must say a boo boo. It's just a guy, and just imagine in your thoughts how this guy will just speak. And the Bible say, and Crawford corner, I heard a person of Hekakran. Your idea be, or say, the people, in fact, I don't know what, I think, I don't know what chapter 18.
Yeah.
I'm saying, no, chapter 18. There were 16 there. No, or saying Crawford Copan, Chelsea, yenim kasa, yenim, kasano. Why don't you speak to us in your friend saying, kasano? Aha, any, verse 20, no?
Verse 20, no, say,
Ah.
you speak of having plans and power for war, but they are mere words. And in whom do you trust? That you rebel against me? Look, now look.
Go to verse 26. Also saying
26, and I'll say, and Eliakim, the son of Helkiah, Shinam, and Jonah, Joab said to
it was a rap shaking thing.
Please speak to your servant in Aramaic.
These are leaders in Hezekiah's kingdom.
Yeah.
One of my rap shaking was a rap shaking. Ompachom yenu nim komo kakra. Rap shaking yesraw. Wo da asem na wo kan nyina yetiase. Oh yetiase wo
Aramaic kasa
Israel for no members no omontiase. Oh, so that they will not feel panic. Okay.
Please speak to your servant in Aramaic, for we understand it, and do not speak to us in Hebrew, in the hearing of the people who are on the wall. And Rapshaki,
and Rapshaki is war nechi. Jerusalem war nechi. And war we name Satan and megaphone or there. But and what not megaphone okay. And what Hebrew kasa mu ana mpanyinfo ba ne nana what they sraw kasa no wo Aramaic kasa mu. Don't scare our people. It is said obi de oka no ba ofi ahomache na obaji sika no na opa ne say oh makasa amrafo sika metua wo de sraw makasa amrafo oh Rapshaki buafu tie dey see us say
but Rapshaki said to them, has my master sent me to your master and to speak to you these words? And not to the men who sit on the wall, who will eat and drink their own waste.
Rapshaki say, hey, me master suma me say me make kasanchire kroma fo, so that they will put pressure on you, the king, for you to surrender. Because enya a king no na omo ho ba chire omo. Eye kroma fo na omo be sebe omo beja omo anan na omo asa atete adie. Say ye tisha omo so a, ye tosha omo so a. They will drink their own urine. They will eat their own feces. What must say? Sabi omo janai omo abetiti asa di. Ye tosha omo so a. Entina ye can't share chromo for. Eti owie ya no original o ti do kan what say?
Verse 28 or say, then Rapshaki stood up and called out with a loud voice in Hebrew and spoke.
Asabu Grand say.
Hear the word of the Lord.
Yes.
Hear the word of the great king and the king of Assyria. That says the king, do not let Hezekiah deceive you, for he shall not be able to deliver you from the hands, nor let Hezekiah make you trust in the Lord, saying,
Joe, the complete thought of what you know say. Rapshaki is sorry Abu Boom, telling the people, say, hey man, you guys are going to captivity. Now, don't ever think say Winyaman or to me say obetime ajo. Now, no ajo over back to chapter 19, verse 20. Bible say when Yankopon catch Hezekiah say empire wabon why they brethren. There Joe, I mean taking a moment now mean think of why being when you are in trouble, when things seem say bibia banawie ya Joe, go before the Lord, spread your problem before the Lord, pray to the God of heaven who has power to cancel every odd, and spread your problem before him. Nejai asofo akoko mono God is powerful. Say, who your Christian, he will listen to your prayers. What must I say? When you say why you baby, I nunti, emfa usros ma. Confess your sins and build that relationship with your God so that you can go before him and spread your problem before him. I trust this God so much, sir. Joe, he is so powerful to destroy everything biara come against you. It is time for people to understand, say, we have a God who is above all odds, who is above the forces of this world. And when he is with you, nobody at all can come against you. When the Lord is with you, Joe, I won't say you share the book of Daniel there, but Joe, me person ni party ase wa ha. Bible can't say me. When it says verse 20, no, or say because you have prayed to me, I will listen. Now Joe can say be extra or till okay. What's mommy?
Verse 20, I say, then I said, the son of Amos said to Hezekiah, saying, that says the Lord God of Israel.
Because you jump to 32. Let's see, assembly on Yango catch
32, no, or say, therefore, that says the Lord concerning the king of Assyria, he shall not come into the city.
Hey, Israel, listen, because Hezekiah did not go to Egypt and request for allies to come and fight Hezekiah, because they did not go around to look for people to come and help them in fighting, but came before me, spread the problem before me, and called on God to look at the letter Hezekiah, Sennacherib, Atrab, and Intino. Joe, Oyangopon say, this king now, we the day with Chirono. Then nine say, Emura Jerusalem city no more.
Emura Krum. Not giant grandma.
And no one to me, you know, one timpo to a giant. How can you not trust this God? Problem be your problems in this world. Me come the actual we am show. But if you trust this God that we serve, that's how we are being said. Against all odds, against all troubles, against all your weak, even in your deep weak point, you will still rely on God. No, I'm saying.
Verse number. Yeah, they will not come before it with the shield. No, build around it. By the way, he came by the same way he shall return. And he shall not for I will defend this city to save it.
I will defend this city to save it for my own. This city, no, for his own. And do what?
For my servant David's sake.
And for my servant David's sake. Over verse 35. That's the interesting part.
And it came to pass to pass on the certain night that the angel of the Lord went out and killed in the camp of the Assyrians 185,000. And when the people arose early in the morning, they were dead, they were corpses, all dead. Then Sennacherib, the king of Assyria, departed and went away, returned home, and remained at Nineveh.
Remember, say, as at this time, yeah, on one campo, Joe, Satan, no coach, say, I watch it, is the kind of
watching the cage, you say, or does any quite interesting.
Now, Bible say, an angel, one person, angel. And was saying they did what? And went out and killed
185,000.
185,000. Minim wa wo hwe minim abaifo dodo omudi wachi. What was it? Minim ebi abaifo omudi wachi be 1,000. What was it? Me sure say before 185,000 video.
Beni a comfort cry you do Beni
What must I say? But the truth of the matter, and I say, if you will trust God, Joe, when you go say He will save you. Ampa, senakere de ya oye nyina no. Me sure say omo ye soldiers a NGO be come na rap shake kan ho.
Yeah.
Rap shake obey de nyina no. Bible say omo ta sorry no. No omo nyina ye kakases. Omo nyina da ni furu. Na Joe, the ntia ye ka sa asem we nyina say sa Hezekiah we on one and Yankopon spent a life for 15 years. Right? Joe, when him said Yankopon spent a life for 15 years, you know. Answer no best start here.
Yeah, Manasseh, the 15 empire over 15 years, you know.
15 years now. Or after they see it, after say Yankopon say wood no you know. Hezekiah be yare. Or yare no bomb pass erade. Kai me de maya mount. Kai me de maya o nation mo. Ena Onyankopon say wo no. Adentina na Hezekiah ebusa se kai no. Ehọ na mpese nipa te Daniel book na se. Adentina Onyankopon Hezekiah ka se onyame nkai. Because at that time no all the kingdoms no the northern kingdom no omu nyina betane. In fact, the nations, no, are one kingdom, no. Or when you know better than your friend saying, captives to the Assyrians. And now, or mine are more down, honor, or more, and so is here, or else, my bosom. It is a car by your Hineno, and now, or restore proper Jewish worship. It is the kind of country on Yango say, remember what I did for you. Now, and on Yango say, I have spared you, I've given you 15 more years. 15 years in the moon, and obewo, neba, obedi nadie. Neba ne friend of Manasseh. Joe Bedia is a Manasseh no buy, no. A colaketuana or nobody, him. Or shall say, or ya, dear, ne papa. The opposite of all that his father did. In fact, according to Second Chronicles, you know, or shall say the Mark Egujim, Second Chronicles chapter 33, you know, or the Mark Egujim Shewomo Mabosum.
Yeah, and to not to go away quickly from Hezekiah, no, it was the same Hezekiah. Anna on also Tama Babylon for Yesuma Yema Oba Jerusalem. Our best line, Obie, Okobie.
Joe, I want to seven one. Okay, good. I say what this has some number.
Yes,
the guy who told me.
Yes,
the guy who told me, no. Kai say Assyria for now, or move beseeching city now. How many people and Omuye? 185,000 soldiers. Now we a nation now. 185,000 soldiers a war. Joe, and then I'll bet my Bible say, Sassana Caribno, Obedru ni Chrome, or no anima, verse 36, no, or no anima, FHF as a can war no kuno. 80, that is when the kingdom became weaker. Remember, sir, the book of Nahum. I'm on for kind. Yo, when you said the book of Nahum, no, the opposite of the book of Jonah.
Well, possibly
Jonah for Nineveh. Echo 2, Nineveh 4%. Almost a child margin. Almost a child margin. Onyankopon ede omboni che omo. Emma Jonah Krabu fu isa denti Onyankopon de omboni aire. Acho. Yo, 150 years later, and almost started almost said the bonina on Yakopon Kowani or Munoa. And on Yakopon Suma Nahum. 18-year-old the book of Nahum, no. Or Suma no call her say, go and tell these people, say, because I made them a bonnet chair when I'm going to come back to Bonin, you know. Now it's over. So they say expect
So the book of Nahum is a sequel to the book of Jonah. Jonah,
Yes.
Jonah, you know,
Jonah,
the part 2.
Yeah. Jonah part 2 ni Nahum. It's obi share ya say the book of Nahum the same people now Jonah ko preach kire omo no. Omo na Nahum so ko preach kire omo. Omo de ne de Nahum was telling them say prepare to meet thy God. Yetum for mo ntie de a ene mo nya ready na mo bone no ehho aso twe ye de eba. Eti jo Nahum achi no and the nation Israel, your friends say Assyrian kingdom, only lose 185,000 of their soldiers, and they became weak. 80, according to history, no. Papa na place na
Populasa. You mean Nebuchadnezzar papa?
Nebuchadnezzar papa na person body no. Nebuchadnezzar papa, your friend no. Nasa Polesa. And I just
I pronounce it Napo Pulas anyway. I don't know whether
Napo Polasa, okay. Me mentima modina mo fanche me. Na nenya Assyria ni. Eti in fact omo nyina kan kasa baako. They all speak Chaldean language. And Babylon for some catch on second technician to me show the map now. Can people understand it well? They were neighbors.
Yeah.
What was some neighbors? Enti I to say muye neighbors na bakuye superpower. Let's say American Mexico. Na American is superpower. Now all of a sudden America akwa try so omo na obi kokon. Na entokwana anye into omo lose a lot of soldiers. And now omo neighbors ni take advantage. What I say into omo neighbors no Babylon 4. And Babylon 4 take advantage. And omo ye den ekoto share Nineveh for no so Assyria for no. And they took over. So now Assyria is gone. But Assyria, before they went into the drain, no, now Mordecai captured the northern kingdom. Enti Nebuchadnezzar nene papa estate self almost expanded almost kingdom. Already in Assyria for no I weaken a lot of kingdoms into almost plow back. No more go through all the kingdoms to take them. Enti ne papa your hini ewo Babylon. And Nebuchadnezzar eba say or no so be attack Israel mine. The Jew for mine. At the time obe attack Jew for mine. Obe attack no and or taste ni papa ewu. It or taste ni papa ewu no and o ja attack no call back. Ekwa ye ohene enti ni papa ewu ono abe ye ohene. Nto ono be ye ohene no and oba back to the land of Palestine. And now Joe, the American the book of Jeremiah.
Yeah, but the person said, I didn't share Nebuchadnezzar set it out for military campaign. At that time in Babylon was his father ruling. The father was the ruler there. And I was setting out trying to conquer and extend the Babylonian kingdom. In the so he has to go back. He went back to Babylon. He was crowned as a king. Then he set back. So baby, exactly. Judah Judah no moon.
Joe, the ten say, answer Osha, and I'm just second map on Osha. Those who have maps at the back of their Bible.
Yeah.
Yo, some person who come down to conquer Egypt. Because ultimately conquer Egypt at that time. What conquer we are saying? And the land of Israel was a very important land for people to always troop there and fight Egypt. What I say? And Nebuchadnezzar, on any papa ena womo Mfan say he's the prince, the crown prince that they attack on. And all fighting into a cut down the nature down. Oyangopon to Ongrofo for sans Monsachra o Hezekiah Jeremiah Kanchra o Mino Monsachra na joy came or Hina no Tesono. Or dear Buffo Echi Jeremiah to prison. Or as a Sabaya on the preachy crunch from no munti. Na no na Jeremiah 2:14 mwanti no Ebreson and Joe. Yebe fa wo Edom ko ebrebe ya ebra Nebukadnezar papa wuye no na ono be ye ohene no ena Nebukadnezar bow down bio and the Bible say he besieged Jerusalem.
Okay.
Na ebra so ye no okonka omo Onyankopon handi the kingdom to Nebukadnezar.
Yo, but
ena Nebukadnezar esesa emrantie ne emabawa Edom call Babylon.
So maybe Jinawaka Krame, I will come back. You better say about maybe out there, you will talk about the 3 deportations. Yes, so Marco Mensa and Coco Mensa. We talk about the 3 deportations.
Yeah.
Yes, then we better 3 deportations. Bit my clear where you do now. Addition is an yet now boy, but my main fact when you use messages are bamming chain and a live show. Inti say o drop a comment in the comment section na be hunu na makan amount my main kind kra Emilia Emilia say good evening brethren, I'm watching you live from Maryland. Some obey Atobra say Atobra from Adwatu Church. Yeah. Joyce Bwaji say good evening brethren, watching you live from Accra. Anna Richard Buampon so from Ho Kwekwadun so here from Asankogwa. Philip Quay from University of Ghana. Anna Candy not chance from Germany. Anna Ubed Morty and so from CA. What do the question about? What the question about me or the question about Rebecca Wassam? Rebecca Wassam. A couple saw the comment about the power of the word of God at play. It is interesting. Masada.
Yes, sir.
To talk about deportation,
okay, so Sarah, among for men confusing be brain, no moment breaking them a bit down. The entire cofa, Senaker be some in our bell. Lady kind as out here say, a Syria for and omudi we so. Assyria for ye count Assyria for ye count mom free anyway. Yet, baby, a Jonah, a co preacher, Tom the Divi so. Enna, omudi we are so. Omo try so be wura Babylon. No more then. Omo destroy the Median Babylon. Be wura Jerusalem. Sorry. No more be destroy Jerusalem. No more be fat almost wako. And so remember say omo di can be fat omo nia no more the 10 tribes no. Ed omo konkwasu mudada. 80 the 10 tribes konkwasu mudada. Inti aka two na wada horo. Omo be fa omo nso akọ. Into omo ba ya Onyankopon ama kwan. Because Senyami ma kwan that means say enka yentimi me waje nkwa no. Into Nyami ama kwan. Judah for no omo anya kwan ankonka omo. Into omo ntimi ankonka Judah for no. Na Nebuka Ratsheki ne boss a friend no Sennacherib or Hene Sennacherib returning to Nineveh no. Ena ne makun no na chi no. Omo neighbors Babylon for. And a Babylon for no take advantage. No, almost got to share almost. And almost take over the kingdom. To almost take over the kingdom. Nice and now almost reigning the Viasano. Babylon for.
Good.
Now Babylon for no more reigning Viasano. Papa no Teso. Napo Polasi. Polasa. Ne oye Nebuchadnezzar Papa.
Yeah.
Nebuchadnezzar Papa. We are talking about. I think the age around this time, Chrono should be
530.
No, at this time on Casa we are talking about 612.
Yeah, 600.
612 BCR. Assyria for a Nineveh for no a fall no.
Yeah.
Around 612 no fall And it says to between 612 and 605.
605.
05, 605, no. BC before the birth of Christ, no. And Nebuchadnezzar Papa Wui. And Nebuchadnezzar taking over between that period, no. It's Nebuchadnezzar taking over. And I think that next week now I'll try and bring a chart. Now more project here so that we see all the kings and all at that time. And Nebuchadnezzar taking over, no. And are returning to the conquest. Say he is fighting to get more kingdoms under the new Babylonian kingdom. Your friend is the new Babylonian kingdom. It's new, no, a new Babylon. No, on him as I say, what take you over? Nebuchadnezzar. And Nebuchadnezzar take you over. No, one time na he knew so no twice to conquer nations. And the nation targeted Jerusalem. At this time, there, when you go allow Nebuchadnezzar to take over the nation. 80 Joe 605 BC. Your friend be the battle of Kagamish. The battle of Kagamish. That battle we ena omu etumi defeat Egyptians, no. Ena omu chase Egyptians, no, through the land of Judah. And in actual sense, no, Nebuchadnezzar kumbi na wakoko Egypt for no wakoko. All the time, no, and what they Judah for pound num. What can I say? Because Judah was a small nation.
Yeah.
He conquered. He was able to fight against the Egyptians for them to run down. Now we secure this Palestinian land, no. To secure the land, no. And I do or try say afi any one Israel for no. Mumu bemi ako Babylon ne. And the part de mumu bemi ako. It's the first captive where do call you know. You don't call 605 BC. You say 605 BC no. Omo first people where do call you know. Omone the Daniel chapter 1 come ho asem. It's Daniel chapter 1 catch say the first Jewish group where do call you know. Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Sancrophone in ano. Omu call the first group omu call no. Joe Omuchi. Say Obama Kwamentua and also an army stay with the first group.
No, so the bear. You see, the point is that I mean, in sometimes Nipa will be doing mono. See, like I said, Babylon for the farm. You might have it in your mind that it just one time. No, it came in batches.
Yes, the first batch, no. First batch on mobile, you know, a lot of people. In fact, the first batch they did not even go into the temple. Almost a son near my what temple. It's the second batch, no mobile, you know. Now, only the second batch, you know. Now, you're going to can't catch Israel for to say Nebuchadnezzar will come back. In fact, okay, can Jeremiah chapter, I think chapter 30. Jeremiah, Jeremiah partner was a year. So Jeremiah gave us a chronicle of how our incidents in the United States. Around Jeremiah 40, no, Jeremiah was begging the people to stay in Jerusalem because when you say, "Oh, Babylon for no, Emma Metun Shaw Musubiu." Babylon is going to Egypt. Israel for no, Judah for no, Antiase. In fact, Omuchichre, Nehemiah, Jeremiah, ne Baruch, the secretary, and this uncle for you know call Egypt. When Yankopon Emma, a year Babylon force our baby. Omuba the second one, a year 597 BC. Your difference now is just about best 8 years. 81st captive Ekoye. 605. Second captive omukoye no 5, 9, 7, 8 years. Right? And then the third captive omukoye no, almost called a year 586 BC. 80 captive omukoye or the first, the second, the third. Interestingly, when him said the first one omukono, Wabra Jeremiah A2 omufro catch on some for how many years?
70 years.
70 years. 80 Ushemua Joe omu captive no and omu return no is the same. O calculate here is pepe. First captive omu koye no 8 years time and a second captive ekoye. Second captive ekoye 11 years time and a third captive. So Nebuchadnezzar before mu ekonkwaso. So now we have all these people going to Babylon. Now, Joe, if you are reading this, you also have to understand, say, Papa, your friend, Ezekiel.
Yeah,
Ezekiel.
The prophet Ezekiel. No?
Yes, the book of Ezekiel. No, also captive. No.
Yeah, so first time Nebuchadnezzar besieged Jerusalem, he took away the prince.
Yes, that
was the first deportation, and that was Daniel and his brethren.
Yes.
The second deportation of Bayern was he came also and Ezekiel call Babylon. We normally sing the song by the rivers of Babylon where we sat down and then we wept. Babylon.
Yes, and when Ezekiel Ezekiel chapter 1, verse 1 to 3. No.
Yes, and then the third deportation, the third part, that time Nebuchadnezzar fed up with these people. In fact,
yes.
Second one, when he came, he put in
soldiers were
yes, no, Saturday on one gasa appointee or Hena or two na dear no uncle and this year
exactly.
So say only a dear the third time Obano he destroyed him and he killed his own
exactly. When you are studying the book of Daniel, now I anticipate all these background I say. Who read book there are certain things you don't see it.
Yeah.
What I want to say, Daniel book no. So when you all these background, a lot of things are happening in the book of Daniel. You will not be able to understand. That's why we are spending time to tell you how all these things happen. First group Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego. Second group, Ezekiel. Ezekiel on team. In fact, they did not send them to the same place. Almost send a first group, no.
Yeah.
What was it? Ezekiel chapter 1, no, verse 1 to 3.
Ezekiel chapter 1, verse 1 to 3.
1 to 3.
I'll say where Ezekiel no. I'll say now it came to pass in the 13th year, in the 4th month, and on the 5th day of the month, I was among the captives by the river Kiba, which that the heavens were open, and I saw the visions of God.
Good.
On the 5th day of the month, which was the 15th year of King Joachim. See, where Joachim,
where the second guy, no. 80 Joachim and another him. And no Nebuchadnezzar taking over no. And Okofa Joachim no Neopa. Because what two or no ideas were found to Babylon. Neofa and over found so media there. It obedia there and Jeremiah 2 for say untia every tax bia Nebuchadnezzar the money be anoya day untia also untia. In fact, in chapter your friend saying 28 of Jeremiah 38 Jeremiah 2 to 4 went and the other far second one no edo omo koy second one e be for omo koy no yo ena ohene Nebuchadnezzar sade ohene foforo esi so ono nso so the same thing went here at the end of the day at the end of the year onyankopon ema eye Nebuchadnezzar and nkrofo sa ba bi o and this time round no omo destroy the city and omo twa everything. In fact, they burned down the temple at Solomon Sea. In Tina, yeah, omo free captive by and obete say omo say see temple nubio no.
Yeah.
In fact, the book of Haggai and the book of Zechariah eka ho asem because Nebuchadnezzar the before every chief. In fact, say what kind dan Jeremiah chapter 40 no bana enkrofo no che Nebuchadnezzar soldiers na omugya na wachire no se onhwe no ntoto nem na peace mra ho no omche omuku omu eti Nebuchadnezzar eba bio no de abufuo ene bai ene obe destroy omu a country no eti the next captive we call ye no wo mu nso so the third captive ho ena his your friend Ezekiel ehye nkom se arahosem a esie ne se onyankopon asa afa the second batch the third batch ne do mo ye den eba yo omo third batch ne koy na say country ne there is gone, the nation is gone.
And I think that captures in the Lamentation, the book of Lamentation, Jadua, Jeremiah, Esun, or Jerusalem, say, the kind night, Monty, Majanoma, a kind one fee, they say the avenue, now, Oche Jado, and this background help put things in perspective. But Bashada, I want us to place the book of Daniel in among the books where they belong to. You see, there are a lot of books in the Bible, in particular the Old Testament. It make kind of comment about many messages kakra make a live show. It make kind of force a face live on Facebook, live on YouTube, live on X. Or drop a comment in the comment section. I want us to situate the book of Daniel among the books of the Old Testament. You know, now but my main kind some few comments about what I see. Some couple say the power of God at play. Okay, Ed Thomas Agri, so say King Hezekiah went and spread the letter before God. What a righteous and prayerful king. Great lesson. Highest motivation. So Eddie Abu say very interesting background. The Bible is very interesting and motivating. I Samuel, so I say watching you live from Instagram. Lydia, Jan, and so say enjoying the discussion. Keep up the great work, guys. God bless you. Kwekwa say watching the teachings. God bless you, servants of God, more wisdom, more knowledge. Evans Uku, I say, or here if you break. Kosia from Poma Papa B. And say good evening, brethren. Anna Henry Boateng say great teachings. Patrick Abin say we serve a wonderful God. I am man, so okay. Samuel Kapo said the say Jeconia, stubbornness allowed God to take back his seat. God is merciful. Ambassador, situate the book, Emame.
Situating the book of Daniel, no, Mama, two angles of situating the book. The first angle, no, and it said, Joe, the book was not recognized as a prophetic book. What must say, Joe for no, Omo Anyantum said Daniel book no a prophetic book. They added the book of Daniel to the group or they refer to as the writings. On say Jesus was assistant or can in Luke chapter 24, the verse 25, or catch almost say I win an amendment no. The catcher say it is written about me in the book in the law, the Psalms, and the prophet. It is the Psalms refer to what Israel for no friend a year. The Ketuvim. Ketuvim a collection of books history, writings, and all that. It almost recognizing Daniel as a prophet. Now, this is the reason. So, in actual sense, Untimin classified Daniel as a typical prophet. because a typical prophet prophesies to God's people and then to other people, other nations. But Daniel case, Daniel was only in the temple prophesying to kings. Into Daniel and Kassan, the best description of a statesman.
Well, that to see Daniel's work was solely dependent to the Gentile nation, Babylon. Babylon was even in the throne room of the book at the Babylonian kingdom and Persian kingdom.
In Daniel's time, there are three main kings are ruling, three main kingdoms and the ruling during Daniel's time. Nebuchadnezzar is the first kingdom, Darius the second kingdom, and Cyrus. But Cyrus and Darius one.
So at that time, Babylon ruling, Daniel lived within the era of Babylon kingdom, Babylonian kingdom. And the Medes and the Persians, and a couple of but Medes is a different kingdom, Persians is a different kingdom. But that king was running at that time.
Daniel tells it. It's Daniel one. He prophesied to some of the Jews there, but in fact, anytime I called Ninian Jew for no, but mainly the work was in more like the kingdom court, like Ahimfie, and all catching him for Moba, trying to tell them, say, even though Muru lead the whole world, but remember, say, the God of heaven rules in the affairs of men. It's Daniel book, they all came and say, when you go he rules in the affairs of men. It's on him be about Trakunya and when you go upon a more bad day, so don't see yourself as too big. So Daniel kept on telling these kings or mobile trying to teach them. In fact, on say ahinie biano ya wa hemfu bebre we wu kona we wu akọ. But Daniel was, for a period of about 70 years, Daniel was a prophet to these Gentile kings. But what I say, but in your friend is saying, Daniel book no okay, can I say Jew for did not accept say he was a prophet to them. So the Jews did not put the book of Daniel among the prophets. What do I say? But ye Gentiles, of course, ye Gentiles, and now the whole world. So it's no more Gentiles now. Jews and Gentiles in Christianity. We place the book as one of the prophetic book. Adding to that, so any book amount idea about how in kingdoms will be is the book of Daniel. Open book talking about Onyango plan to build a church, a kingdom, the book of Daniel. And I open a book to tell you how Jesus, it was the book of Daniel. Yeah. Daniel has a lot of prophecies in it, a lot of visions, a lot of dreams in the book. One of the books I also want the same kind of characteristics. Ezekiel. It Daniel book cannot be placed among just history because it has a lot of prophetic, words. It is a lot of prophetic message for the Messiah, for the church, and for the nations. It is a book that should be placed among the prophets, and it is rightly so. It is the book of Daniel. Is part of the prophets, but it is not a minor prophet book. Even though book enye ketwasa, but it's not too small for us to add it to the smaller books that were prophets. That is why Daniel is added to the major prophet. Until over Bible more, the Bible that we have now, the 66 books, Daniel is part of the prophet. Isaiah, Jeremiah, Lamentation, Ezekiel, and then Daniel. These books, they are not arranged chronologically. They are arranged according to the volume in it. Your friend is saying, Isaiah, Jeremiah, and Jeremiah no only lamentation and so the two are combined. And Ezekiel, especially Daniel, into Ezekiel comes before Daniel. Then after Daniel, all the other minor books will follow. If Daniel is part of the 5 books are a friend of the major prophet.
But I say, you spoke about the theme, but we will talk about it. I will go back and come back to you. Then we talk more about the theme. My slip.
Yes.
A summary of the theme. I want the book of Daniel. I will come back and we'll talk about it briefly. Now, we are live on Facebook, we are live on YouTube, and we are live on X. Click on the share button. Say now share. I'm a hopeful. Just click on the copy and copy it to Facebook, WhatsApp platforms. Then be a phones to me. I join in to come and learn. Say the bear. Your man, you name or transfer me to me. Adults, you name the or transfer now. Boy, I'm a to me. And question be out drop in the comment section. So I just my home question. You be kind amount. Na yet me a year no, and so the amount. Yes, you are one in the book of Daniel and visions. High straight talk, so the Jaconia and Messiah now a Bible pencil more and we are live on Facebook, we are live on YouTube, and we are live on X. Just share as many as you can so that I hope on me I enjoy. Yes, I said that we are talking about it that we have not monetized our content, but we just want to show our commitment to truth. Send a better man of credit through the person. Now, yes, any pan, yes, you can share. No, it's not like that. We're not interested in that. We are interested in sending the message out. So as long as you are sharing, a boy and my whole friends a chance on it. Maybe no crayons a quanya bit means what in Jesus Christ as some panel. Maybe our Jesus as Christian as from the chair quine. Now, one, so I'm not even quite German. But that quick one. Oh, you're talking about the team. Assembly that and humanus. Before we will talk, we won't go without talking about the difference between vision and dreams. We won't go with that talking about the difference, but the team,
So the book of Daniel gives us on one training and somewhere else book them. I say in chapter 1, no, Nebuchadnezzar akochichin Crawford the Omaya day, Ed Omaba Babylon.
Babylon, yeah.
And my country chief for say, or Chichi Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, we move by. Daniel book no doesn't say no, yeah, but later on, or report it, said they were Enochs, which means that at the time where you young people, no, say you castrate you. What am I say? Castration, you ever can you say?
Charmo, Charmo.
There's a you almost my April.
I'm just looking for the keyword.
The feelings are one you free.
Yeah. What came to my mind was Chetia, but Chetia circumcision.
Chetia is circumcision. Yeah.
Not.
The more
to comment why Becca, I mean, you read it for us.
It's in what they did, and they say, almost castrate Daniel, any Shadrach, and Meshach, and Abednego. And in chapter 1, this is what is happening.
They became chapter 2. Or you're Enoch. Is that what you are saying?
Yes.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something interesting. For years, so many people were thinking that Enoch Obidi. I was there in the book of Acts, chapter 8, the Ethiopian Enoch. In the book of Acts, chapter 8, obviously, as I Bible is Ethiopian Enoch. They were thinking that Enoch might be his name, and then Enoch did Obia Patrick K. ABC Yasa Omo. Okay, Anna Obi Ayaman to say Yasa Omo. Anna a couple to say Yasa Omo. You, then I must say, Yasa Omo, you're the bent to Anna.
I say, oh, crama na o fie na umpese obi pie ne ade a na wasa no.
Yeah.
It's also what it means in say, preventing them from having feelings, or preventing them from saying the bear crabby to us. Sorry. Oh,
Yeah.
It's San Omuye, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Omuye no, they try to teach them, say, Omu Ebeka Chaldean language, you know.
That's that.
But yo, interestingly, Hebrew language in the Chaldean language in Eben. I have to say, Asante Kasa, any Yemfa Sabuno. Eben, it's what Aramaic Kasa Anoa. Easy say obetimesia Hebrew Kasa.
Sir,
And
Rashna, Unipe,
Rasheki.
Rasheki.
Rasheki fire on Kasa Kedi.
Of course, yes, yes, okay. But they canoa Aramaic Kasa, man, cano Hebrew, and the Hebrew, the common people, all from one of Granny. I bet you did a canoa Kasa.
In chapter 2, no, in the book of Daniel, chapter 2, now Daniel Obekachere say, on the troyo, Obekachere say, Nebuchadnezzar son die. Ne die anymore. When Daniel was explaining the book, no, and the dream now, Nebuchadnezzar, and Daniel Ekachere say, God did that. Oma Nebuchadnezzar refi die, no, so that Nebuchadnezzar will know that God rules in the affairs of men. Yankin Daniel chapter 2, the verse 21. No, in fact, Daniel, the entire the theme of the book, when say Daniel kept on saying these words, and we'll read all of them for you to see it. That God rules in the kingdoms of men. Daniel chapter 2. Chapter 2, verse 21.
21 will say, and he changes the times and seasons. He moved kings and raised up kings. He give wisdom to the wise.
Daniel 2, verse 20. No.
20. And Daniel answered, blessed be the name of God forever, for wisdom and might are his. And he changes the times and seasons. He removed kings and raised up kings. He give wisdom to the wise and knowledge to those who have understanding. He reveals deep and secret things and knows what is in the darkness, and the light dwell with him. I thank you and praise you, O God of my fathers, and you have given me wisdom and have made known unto me what you have done. You have made known to us the king's demands.
Daniel Amian who said, God is able to rule in the affairs of men. In fact, chapter 4, verse 17, Daniel can some chrono bill.
Chapter 4, verse number 17. I'll say, the decision is by the decree of the watcher, and the sentence by the word of the holy ones, in order that the living may know that the Most High rules in the kingdom of men, gives it to whom he will, and sets over it the lowest of men.
We Nebuchadnezzar second dream. Also dine diakesie bia isiwo ne ade no. And announcement Nebuchadnezzar bedane aboa no. Ahai Daniel can kire Nebuchadnezzar say, Nana, in fact, auto us of cancer nana. Yakopon ye we actually so that you know say God rules in the kingdoms of men. It's Joe, you keep seeing this, you see it in verse 25 and verse 32. And so verse 25 is saying.
Verse 25 is saying, they shall drive you from men, your dwelling shall be with the beast in the field, and they shall. And
we not Daniel Kasafa Nebuchadnezzar who say, Nana, ye be pamu sa aboa de wakomuram na eyi ensensan ene ade na obewe.
And they shall make you eat grass like oxen, and you shall wet and they shall wet you with the dew of heaven, and 7 times you shall pass over you till you make known the Most High rules in the kingdom of men and gives it to whom he chooses.
Eti nana Nebuchadnezzar ti asese ubene na mountain so ama esoro ensuo to a ebegu so se aboa se de your friend saying wansane ne jata no mo nwura mo ensuo to gu omo so no saa so pa na Nebuchadnezzar ensuo beto agu so na waba beti asese God is the one who is in charge of the world. Interestingly, I'm so Joe, Obaba who said Nebuchadnezzar ebedane aboa, but obeya aboa ni nyina unim say obi antena na konwa so. Nyankopon twen 7 years Emma osaba back ebetena na konwa so. God is just showing to the world say he rules. It is the theme of Daniel and say God is the ruler. He rules. Yo, I mean, uncle last one, chapter 5. Wabra, Belshazzar, Nebuchadnezzar, and Nana, ne Baba, and so ever your henno. Now, well, on the new side, the intino, or yeah, never be a frano. When you go from the trot down, San but 21 and I'm Pesa Oshe. Wabra. Daniel chapter 5 verse 21.
Then he was driven from the sons of men, and his heart was made like the beast, and his dwelling was with a wild donkey. And they fed him with grass like oxen, and his body was wet with dew of heaven, till he knows that the Most High God rules in the kingdom of men and appoints over it whomever he chooses.
Exactly. It is the book of Daniel no is telling us Onyankopon ne di hene ampa nso jo wonim say Nebuchadnezzar sabe obefa Israel fo akonkwa asum no hwan na ma akwan
na me a
adentina Sennacherib eba de Onyankopon ma ne kwan say Sennacherib me form Onyankopon ma ne kwan but okun how many 185,000
1,085,000
185,000 Bakaniye. What I say? 18 Joe. I think Nebuchadnezzar and so bad. Onyankopon the same thing. Bible say he rules in the affairs of men and he gives the kingdom to whoever he pleases. And to Nebuchadnezzar obewu neba ebeba nebanso ba ne nana ebeba ni nyina wo the book of Daniel mo answer chapter 5 no na kire say ne nana na edi ade sa ne nana we ne pen so eno Onyankopon gi ahenie no free nsem eno de ma eye ohena ye friend Darius or I say the ma Darius etijo the book of Daniel no gives us a clear idea say so be adwin say God doesn't care unim say ye wo enkrofo omu feel say omu kire say ye wo religion bi wo ha they don't believe say Onyankopon cares about
deist. A deist is someone
deist no ye e bebre obi betima ye your friend saying Buddha ni no a deist what I say Shintoism for your enkrofo from Shintoism almost say Japan for almost feel say God doesn't care about
I say waboyu ase and wakotna baby he's just waiting for time to wind up and I say yeah say and I say time will lapse then he comes and just intervene and go interesting. Einstein might be looked as someone who is a deist. He thinks that Yankopon don't intervene in the world.
Exactly. Yeah, Auntie Joe, Omo deist, Adrian said, God doesn't care about this world. Etiana, during politics time, no, so for because answer say, Yankopon doesn't really care about who rules in Ghana. Yankopon doesn't care about politics. It's not true. God cares. But what God doesn't do, he said, God doesn't come and give like preferences. We na me peno. So person choose to be man by your hina. He has the power to turn our heart to that person.
Yes.
And yes, Yankopon prophecy said Muntuma we.
And that ebema what you are doing say God will Nyankopɔn bɛma kwan ma deɛ ɔbɛba bɛdi this one is a reflection of you.
Yeah. Musubai.
Musuban, ɔman ne nyɛ papa, ɔman na pro. Krono ayɛ ma. You don't expect Nyankopɔn for ɔnyɛ obi a Nyankopɔn asɛ ofiri soro baabi na ebedi nso. Krono ayɛ ma, deɛ ɔbɛba no bɛyɛ kɔnfɔ. That is it. As long as ɔman no krono ayɛ ma.
Wo deɛ sɛ ɔpɛ sɛ ohun sɛ krono ayɛ ma pa sɛ de wo kana sisi makola.
Yes.
Na ekobusa ade bi buo no ɔmo ma wo sɛ ade we 4,000. Na ka kyerɛ nipa no sɛ 4,000 ne board mema 25. Ade 4,000 also mema 2,500.
Yeah, obema.
O 10 is so kwa also with a brand and can ye. Difference 1,500 oh.
Yeah.
And so the person is willing to the bargain, which means that Sauba Ghana ha obiton ade amount 2,000. No, catch us say we menyahwe was so abra nem fa so was your best 700. What must say best 700. 80 say mo de sate o man mu a mo benya ohene a ana president ana ministers a almost ya kronfo mo tiri mo den enti na ebrejo ye be bre sa akosi say ya adwen we ye be sesa na ehu onyankopon na ye suban enso aso onyankopon ani. Eti yes, Daniel book no teaches us that God is still on the throne. It doesn't matter who becomes king. It doesn't matter who becomes president. It doesn't matter who is in charge of the whole world. Say, because America for power or more powerful. But people should understand that American doesn't rule the whole world. American doesn't. What American does, and they say, it is dominant among the world.
Yeah.
The nation.
Putin betimi ahye Moscow na oye de oye na
yes America for can change Putin say menye we
Joe Biden so ye de oye obi ye de oye but the truth Daniel Human say
so Daniel Human no be can chere say after a year Roman kingdom no ahine bia nsori wo wiase bio eni wiase nyina so. People should understand this. You call the details of the book of Daniel. We'll talk about those things. Nyankopon intina ofa I sango for debi ambo mudia na me refi Carthage for no.
Carthage, yeah, Carthage.
Carthage, they nearly became a kingdom to rule the whole world.
Kingdom, yeah, the fifth kingdom after the Roman Empire.
Yes. And then they see Nyankopon makwan because God rules in the affairs of men. Eti jo maminka we na me fa futo ma omonso omonhwe ye say wabrabo na di tim hia se niam bi nkoye se awrafo bi aba se esu bi aba umu a ti ase say God has not left his throne. In fact, the obi say wo adwen ya say Nyankopon atwe ne ho a jo, the truth of the matter say wo mum na e bia watwe ho. God is always stable and he's always there. Say ufi say woni Nyankopon temu ate a ene Nyankopon na afiri ho eye wo mum no atwe ho. What I say adentra Bible say bone ene ne no Nyankopon temu e dey ete that part no ne say wo no bone nti na wo no you have wandered away from God. Now why don't you come back? Others say, we are going to bring to your attention, say, God is on the throne. God is still ruling. Now, visions, I would only dreams, I would do a bebano. So we will get to see. Mamin can say, you can say vision. Joe,
so, take your time. Take your time. Yeah. So hold on with that thought. And the theme of the book of Daniel is something that's a Christopher here. You just have to understand that God is still ruling. So there's an interesting poem I like so much. Also, you cannot force God to surrender or hand over his throne. You cannot threaten him. Say the nipa obitimi kwete baby no wachi ba or chinipa ne ba na odini be gina baby no or let a brain say wura one first ka say amremi a ma kidnap oba no. Nobody can kidnap Nyankopon baby na or the side ne threaten Nyankopon say one surrender with throne. And I want here or something like that. God is still on the throne, and that idea is also seen in the book of Revelation. Abra na Christopher Rome, amemo tata wo no te won so.
Omo tiam
John
omo
as someone
Erade
catch on say.
wo hwe.
Yes.
Erade wo ni bia.
Yeah.
I say-
John as someone catch on and say God is still on his throne. And
Now,
mama no
no, I saw in the book of Revelation about me can say me chop. I say the book of Revelation no a movie addicted also so. I mean try say me a horse there kind of saying what am I mean cause one will say at the time one persecution near the eba or minus or tinus or no Bible say that John say I saw in a vision and the throne was set.
yeah.
What did I say? And the one who sat on the throne. So the visioner, John, who hear about Revelation chapter 4, no, telling us, as at the time one, and Yamanema ebesisi, on say, Obie, Adenoa, Obien so ano we yesi, Obien so ano we yesi. They are all telling us, this is what is happening after God is seated and all his leaders are with him, no. Dear AC and a cobebia now about back to chapter 4. No, because say no bie and so I know a tosso emienu, obie and so I know a tosso miensa. Ningina giving us a picture, say God is still on the throne and these things are happening. It doesn't matter how the world is going, God is still on the throne. 80 that God is still on the throne. And they are just a flash. They are just few days be on now ne pensono, ne bressoa, or no Yakopon will reveal himself. He will take a vengeance. He will take vengeance on those who will be punished and will reward those who are obedient unto him. Because our God is still on the throne.
Yeah, it reminds me of a story of Tamana Ekritofone Equati Timunia. There was one military ruler called Julian the Apostate. Ekritofone,
Yeah.
Julian the Apostate. And this guy was tormenting Christian, and he made it his effort, say, well, obe pack Christosuma Fiviasi completely. And he or didn't soldiers there, they didn't know more tata Christopher Kukuma Christopher. Ana oduru kuro ba akoso na o te say na danfo a na one ne eso no one ne ko school ni ade na one te mpatam ni ade omunyini bo omunyina no oye wata ni Kristo ni so oye na dwen say ba ko hu na danfo kro no ana o dress ye o dress ni ho say civilian ana secretly o wura mu ana obusebusa ana ko hu na danfo na ko hu na danfo no ana one ne bon koma de one ne bon komo nsemu ne dade ana or catch him or beside this if friend John. No, I say John. As I step foot in this town, I've seen that the church of the Nazarene being closed and shrines are being resurrected at places where Nazarene, you know, some baby Anna go for share sorry no. Ya peja abonini wo honi and day man for some abosu that day. Nazarene he meant Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And said, so what is this your carpenter friend doing lately? But that he's mocking Jesus. Say, yes, papa, a carpenter. In the what down for carpenter in the they say, then away.
And then away.
Anna, Nana for any deal Christian, any dinner catch and say, he is preparing a coffin to bury your empire. So, then away. Or prepare a coffin. Yes. And truly speaking, history testifies the last words from the mouth of Julian the Apostate was that truly the Nazarene has won. And truly, Jesus Christ said, in as much as the forces of the Roman Empire tried in as much to stifle Christianity, white Christianity, of making laws, making it difficult for people to worship God, we are still testimony that Christianity didn't die off. We are also Christians, just like the apostles were. But let me read some few comments and I'll come on. You know, the lastly, you contrast what we call visions and dreams. That will be the last question. Then you give me your final remarks. Then we sign off. But I'm reading some few comments, answer. And Sanoma, but may catch our for say live on Facebook, we are live on YouTube, and we are live on X as well. My main commented by Menhun Mankind, Evangelist Koku Amwa, or say yes, sir, yeah, that is yes, that is castration. And then you know, a couple so the about, or it not is the art of removing a testicle since they both or they bath and or attend to the wives of the kings. I see. Jaban, and so the boom say, I salute you all. A couple the other two said, God rules in the kingdom of men. Obedient say, interesting to know that Einstein was a deist. Yeah, Einstein was the deism, no, he didn't believe in a personal God anyway, not like the God of the Bible. He believed in often the God of Spinoza was something, God of Spinoza, God of math and stuff like that. But he believed that God, that I don't know offend God, no, he doesn't interfere in the world. He just somewhere doing his own stuff. He has created the world, waiting for the world to wipe itself off. Patrick K. Abens, so some quote of him is confused here. He's talking about Einstein. But quickly, Bashadak,
Joe, my main touches more on the a couple air canal. It's not necessarily say Omujare and him for no year, in this sense. In fact, they had a man no bit my Jumano. But it's mainly because at that time, no, Oyo Hina, Oko Kumbi. Imagine say Sennacherib said the Neaka were besieging the city for a long time. What I say, over the book of Kings, 1 Kings chapter 6, or say the nation, a friend is saying, Samaria was besieged for so long. So I almost started say, Omo, and you know, I him for no cocoon for a long time. It imagine say ohene no owo ababa afefe bi a waware no foforo na ohene kokon a these enox a omo amfie no na take charge ohene ni wa and that is why omo say the be ya ayi odo ohene kwa odo mfa ohene yire no amfo no yire no empower him. What I say, so that's mainly the reason why now they were castrating them, not necessarily say I think that they were also civilized to the point that Omunim said, Obama, or their friends say, a man ma. So that is one thing I just wanted to cover.
So back to my question. The difference between dreams and visions.
So the difference is very simple. Dreams are things that you see or you experience when you are asleep.
Okay.
Dreams happen when you are sleeping. What must I say? And visions, it happen when you are not sleeping, but you are more like in a trance.
Okay.
In a trance. I say what that one na ye. What must I say? It happened whilst a nipano or the ayana among phobi tries on betchim say vision as a muntum actual. In a sense, and yeah, really so. I mean, him say I can't muntuma said you can't among 40 I say a muntum say I say oh I say something is happening to you.
I won't even casa.
But you can speak, you can act as a and your friend say a muntum action. It happens.
Yeah, but that is not vision.
No, that is not vision in a say said the old da was so die no. They be also die na and you may see who crowd who out to me say was so die no was sorry no was debut no or expect to say die no part 2 bet so. So you see the vision in the say but at the corner AC it is still happening. You are experiencing it. What must I say? Or it is communicating to you. What must I say? It's communicating to you. You see what is happening, but you are not sleeping.
So it's possible because I think, and when we are studying the book of Daniel, you will see sometimes you pay down a call and so he will be by the river and seeing things is happening. So
one say, okay, say Ezekiel. Example Ezekiel. Ezekiel say, or daho. In fact, no Nyankopon catch Ezekiel say, on one side of the body. What was on the horse for some months. And in fact, Nyankopon say, Sadia na or daho. How Nebuchadnezzar besako for the third captive no. Now a band no more to one side for a long time. And so sa vi aina Nyankopon catch no we in the Bible say he took Ezekiel into the valley. No, didn't call valley or no catch and said Ezekiel. No Ezekiel so or share no na dey. No one sound. And now Nyankopon busa say Ezekiel into no mpe a ebetuma nyankwa na. And I say ebo eja we dey one na unimo. And now Nyankopon Ezekiel Shenkom say numpe no sorry. Ezekiel Shenkom na numpe na atetete no afi na kekasi ani wieye o se Shenkom say enam metaretare ho o Shenkom na entini veins na arteries ba body numpe no ho na body abekata numpe no o wi o se Shenkom na ka che numpe no say mframa say mbonko wura numpe no mo body sina deda ho no na omo sorry na Ezekiel Shenkom na mframa bowura body sinimo na omo sorry gina ho Sadia we here Ezekiel catch nyina no Joe na nye dream, it was a vision. When Yakopon man so eden ko no vision more like you are still awake when it daho and AC and Yakopon enam so kasa chiro.
I think a good example crowd with me is the told Peter or Acts chapter 10.
Exactly.
Or Bompire, and I who said, be free through a journey near Kumdi.
And I'll say, maybe eradicated. Pocket there.
Peter, I'm from her. Or by her from her, dear.
Almost baby or from a refugee no. Pork when it banku. Almost a pork, almost Sunyano, Mumu didn't share comment boss or Banku, pork, Ayache, Peter, Kunchomo.
But your final comments now you're signing out.
Joe, my final comment and say we are stepping into studies beer. It's so interesting, and I'm excited to be part of it. Say. Menya sakwenya na me no ebeko book no. It doesn't mean say me a scholar. What I say, I don't want to ever cross my mind or the minds of people say yenya scholar be no obechere the book of Daniel. David, I am far below that, but I am humbled and privileged say when Yankopon di nimdie eni nyansa ama yemubi to be able to deal with the book of Daniel and try to go deeper and study about it. I hope, say, the background today has been interesting to you, and I have a lot in stock to discuss with you. And I'm sure, say, Jonathan has a lot of questions to bring out. The discussion will be so interesting for this coming week and the rest of the month. There are a lot. Namenka say, Joe, there are a lot. Easy. Easy. I obi the sunya now by fro easy. But into the main kind of say there's a lot of abuses of the things in the book of Daniel. Into a Christian, you need to know what is happening so that Obibano can be who chirewa. You ube who say they all cannot enya no cre. And our face the book of Daniel give us a lot of hope. And say God is still on the throne. And you know, Muma ninja yare ho mu mpo no momemfa ho nto no so na yen spread it all before him and he will answer us. Yes, sir.
Yeah, but you answer this question. My main has some few comments about question be about Patrick
Okay.
Abbey is the pork joint. In fact, Patrick Abbey say Prekuna why you Prekuna say what
Easy. Masa jaja sa pork joint no de jayo. Makoyira wa bi ni pork bi ayache o no. Hey.
Okay, say no.
Catch it down so say. Wedding no easy.
Mr. Festival, but okay, say Roma, Abranti be say, Wakodi Amanone, the Numian say, and Doko.
Obed.
What was hey, you know all pork joints, Onimunia, so Numia da pitching. That's it. But young kind question when you know say, why did Saul rule for 40 years? Why did David rule for 40 years? Solomon to rule for 40 years? Does it have a special meaning or spiritual meaning? Who designed this 40-year rule system?
Okay.
Yeah. Does it have a spiritual connotation? Quick one.
Well, Joe, God is I'm gonna say God is fan of using 40 years.
Yeah, it's not even him, not this alone. Okay, Moses will be 40 years before
yes.
Ojaniako
Midian.
Midian was 40 years. And then Oba back on so the 40 years.
And also 40 years.
40 years, yeah.
What am I saying?
Those numbers.
Onyankopon war a way to do a nemabia. In fact, unim say, Joe, how many years na so binya ansan watimi I a high priest?
Well, I think I read it some time ago, I've forgotten, but it was within 30 years of
more like 35 upwards.
35 upwards.
Which mostly or more were around 40 years.
Yeah.
So 40 years, God's own way. You name the reason behind it. Now Joe Mamin can say it doesn't mean say obintinya idea being shared on that. But Joe, who tries to obey Sadia Noah? What you're going to do is say you'll be doing some analogies in the Bible. And yes, the Bible no can.
Yeah.
So as I say, I wouldn't want the person to press so much on the 40 years. And yes, I won't say, "Oh, can send me a Bible can." Now, the day what Jane share Bible no more. It basically there is no. Say David Saul ruling for 40 years. It doesn't mean saying continue to us, but God ended his way. David, the Bible says no nyini no ankasa kra na ho so gina bonten a, and then neba Solomon so ebaye and also ebe ruling the 40-year rule doesn't really give us the Bible doesn't give us a reason for the 40 years.
Yeah,
but it gives us the records of what happened.
So a good say. So in other words, Nakupona one can't change why he's making a 40, and then tell us spiritual significance attached to the 40s. There's a website, some YouTube channel every city on. They like numbers and they try to pull numbers in the Bible. 10 years now that's what now. Or the number on some of these things.
Careful, Joe. Not press it too much, and you are making it too much that it doesn't say. Yeah. And I wouldn't want to go there.
Yeah, as Dan come out say Uji Bre now become inside now anyway the person transfer na ashofon so as Dan come out so bobo mo dey boy
Nyame adman next week over to easy amami
yeah. Interesting time ahead because the book of Daniel perhaps in the Old Testament, in the Old Testament, I like two books so much dear to me. I don't know the book you like, but I like the book of Jeremiah for the for how Jeremiah used to be, his nature and how pressing and dear God's word was to him. And I like Daniel for great insight and scholarly work. I don't think there's any book that dear to me than the book of Daniel and the book of Jeremiah. And I think I'm expecting great study ahead of time.
Yo, me honestly speaking, on say Daniel ne Jeremiah complementing
Yeah,
each other. Yeah. And then Ezekiel will mention even Daniel
yeah,
in his book. And other books also mention Daniel. It's Daniel is a very great book. So what to Daniel Asia Obete Nema Bibras. And Joe, I want to say the book Daniel no is an apocalyptic book. It's a book of numbers, symbols, and those things. It's people who are studying with us, NTS I say, and yes, a bibia obehubiano fan literal. There be Daniel Nankasa be country and say apocalyptic, or be country say a sign, symbols of who ye, which in the book now beside Chiremu what they all stand for. Until let us take our time and go into it. Me sure say open say verse by verse study of the book.
no,
But we want to look at every chapter be at the so any some of the visions that we will kind of pull out and discuss. I am so much excited, and I hope that those who are watching us will also be excited to study the book of Daniel with us.
so may I say thank you for your time. And may this also in Chiakoma as your phone as a mujibre, no become home me, maybe then now or baby swear same time next week. The time will say on charity TV we have other programs that are outlining now yeah. Namepa a china yeah share your program and a tire if you are Monty and Cow Action Time will be back on our screens. Hopefully, hopefully Action Time will be back and it will keep on going. And we have Monday program, we have Tuesday, Wednesday program, Chapter Musa. As I said there, we are having a full package of Tarot TV, our programs, and I did it. Now, maybe a chance so your brother Bako, your brother Penny Danusa Siama, our Upper East region, and say, is it Upper East or Upper West? One of them, or your program, Upper West region. Or your program and so we stream live on the platform. You can stream live. If you won't subscribe, just go and subscribe. You don't need a link to join and enjoy. I don't do me that's a the best share media Jonathan. Then Bye bye.